Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. Today we have a built model review, and this is my 1/24 scale Revell Volkswagen Beetle, 1968 Volkswagen Beetle, which I've just completed today. There is an unboxing video of this on the channel if you want to take a look at that, but this is what it can look like, or what it may look like when you've completed it. So overall, I'm going to recommend this. I think it builds up nicely. The detail is good. Fit generally is very good. Well, fit all over is very good actually. And there are some nice options in there. Not performance or custom related options, but kind of options depending on what you want to represent, whether it's going to be left-hand drive, right-hand drive, or so on. So, taking a look at it overall, it's a classic 1968 Beetle shape. Really no mistaking it. Obviously the earlier ones had an oval split rear screen. This has the wider oblong rear screen, which came along certainly in the 1960s, maybe even earlier than that, maybe the 1950s. I'm not too sure there. The classic original Beetle shape to it, familiar to generations of people, literally, really unmistakable. It's got everything you would expect. A lot of separately fitted parts. We'll take a look at those in more detail in a moment. The bonnet, engine cover, whatever you want to call it at the back there, is hinged. It's designed to be hinged. I couldn't get that to work nicely, so I've actually made it detachable. The boot, luggage compartment cover, whatever you call this on the front here. Some people call that the bonnet, I suppose. I don't know. Not really used to rear engine cars. That is not designed to be hinged or detachable, so it actually clips into place. I've just left it clipped in place, but it's not supposed to be opened, or there's no the luggage compartment isn't fully detailed on the kit, so that's really just in place there. So lots of separately fitted parts. I start looking at those. Obviously things like the front and rear bumpers, those are chrome pieces, they're separately fitted. Looking at the front here, the very small, I'll use a pen as a pointer, very small oval grills on the fronts of the wings, on the fronts of the fenders. I'm not sure what they're for. If they're purely styling, I wouldn't have thought so. On a 60s Beetle, they must have some function, but I don't know what. They're separately fitted chrome pieces. The headlamp bezels are separate, as are the clear lenses. These top-mounted turn signals, indicators, they are separate chrome pieces. You need to tint the front of them amber. Volkswagen badge on the top there, that's separately fitted. The handle and release, that's separately fitted. Door handles both sides, separately fitted. The wipers, separately fitted. Going around to the back, separately fitted chrome bezels for the rear lamps, and then the clear pieces for the rear lamps, which need to be tinted amber and red. This very small release catch for the engine cover, separately fitted again, and then yes, exhaust pipes and so on. There is a mirror. Oops, let's get it actually in frame. There's a mirror there. This is a right-hand drive model, so there's a mirror just on that side. It comes with a mirror for the other side if you want to make a left-hand drive version. I suppose you could fit both. The instructions said to just fit the one for the driver's side, which is what I've done. Which is even my first car was made in 1984, and even it only had a driver's side mirror, so it wasn't that unusual back in the day. So all that sort of detail is really, really nice. The wheels and tyres are very nice as well, I think. If you look there, so you've got obviously you've got rubber tyres, and then that's a one-piece chrome piece which represents the wheel rim and the chromed hubcap. It's a fairly simple job to just paint the rim in a painted colour. I chose silver, which seems to be a prototypical colour, but you could choose all sorts of other colours, I'm sure. Some of which might be factory, some of which could be custom. They look pretty good. Posable front steering, so you can pose the wheels to be steered or in the dead ahead position. That's not linked with the steering wheel inside the cabin. It's just posable on the front end of the car there. Yes, these running boards are separate pieces as well. I sprayed those with Tamiya Rubber Black aerosol, which is just about the right look for those kinds of components, I find. I gave them a little dust over with some wet weathering powder as well, just to suggest that sort of exposed to the sun look that rubber can take on sometimes. You'll notice it's fully glazed, so you don't find that with all car kits. Interestingly enough, this range of small cars that Revell has been producing do seem to all be fully glazed. The Mini was. I haven't built the Trabant yet, but this also is fully glazed, so the side windows are all there, all present and correct. No open windows unless you wanted to make an open window. And even then, you'd only be talking about this side window here on the door. Pretty sure on a Beetle those rear side windows would be fixed. So I've made mine as a right-hand drive UK car. It comes with correct looking UK number plates, as well as a host of others as well. Again, I can't remember what they are all off the top of my head. If you want to see those, have a look at the unboxing video. But there are a couple of different German plates. Netherlands, Switzerland, a lot of others. I suppose an obvious question is, how does this compare to the Tamiya Beetle, which represents a Beetle of a similar era? The answer is I can't say, because I must be one of only a small number of car modelers who's never actually made the Tamiya Beetle, despite having heard good things about it. For whatever reason, this one just got to me first, so I built it. I'm pleased I did, actually. I think Revell have done a really, really nice job with this. Being a German company, I suppose this is their baby in a way, a labour of love. So, in terms of the paint, the outside is genuine Volkswagen orange, which I was able to find from a local hardware shop, which I remember seeing on Volkswagens when I was a little kid. I think in reality it's probably a colour that came in the early 70s, so it might be a little bit too late for this car, but I think it really suits it. This is really what so many Beetles looked like driving around when I was young. And there were lots of them as well. There was no shortage of Beetles on the roads when I was a little kid, that's for sure. The interior is a grey colour, which I seem to be using for almost everything these days. It's a Tamiya aircraft grey, which is a sort of US Navy aviation grey colour. I used it on a Corvette interior, I used it on a Ford Model A hot rod body. Now I'm using it on the seats for this, just because I think it just seems just about the right sort of colour. The interior door panels, actually, which you can just see through the windscreen there, through the windshield, I had to paint those in by hand using a similar grey, because I wanted to get the edges of them the same Volkswagen origin as the outside of the car, which I believe is correct for this car. It does come with an antenna, which you can fit to either side of the front there, depending on whether you're building a left or right hand drive version. I decided not to fit it. No particular reason why, I just decided I wouldn't. Okay, let's have a look at the engine in that case then. If I remove this cover carefully, there we go, that comes off. And there we have the Beetle engine, a flat twin engine in reality. I don't know much about them other than that. I don't know what size it is. I would guess probably somewhere around 1100 cc's or 1200 cc's, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, opposed, horizontal, twin cylinders. Or was it a flat 4 in these? Maybe it was a flat 4. I don't know. If you know more about Beetles than I do, which wouldn't be difficult, please comment below and tell us. Pretty nicely detailed in there. You can see fuel systems. You can see the generator in there. Tubes, which I think are perhaps something to do with getting exhaust heat into the interior heating system. I think, again, I'm not really absolutely sure. I don't think I've even travelled in a Volkswagen Beetle, let alone driven one or owned one. So I'm really not too familiar with a lot of that stuff. Other than to say, from my point of view, I think the detail looks really good. I think Revell have represented that quite nicely, just in terms of how it looks to me as a non-Beetle expert. And that little cover just sits nice and fairly flush on the back end there, meaning you don't need to add the hinge if you don't want to. I did add it, and then I found that I couldn't get it to articulate nicely, so I just left it off in the end. There we go. That is my Revell 1/24 scale Volkswagen Beetle 1968, all done and dusted. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching.